Hey you guys, it's Rachel here with Senza Cane Corso. So I got a new video for y'all today, and it's gonna probably be a bit of a series, and we'll see how far we get and what I can film and how it's gonna work, because it's a situation. So this dog right here, his name is Zebulon, and he is out of my Asia litter with Dragoslav. He's a Kubrick brother. And I just got him back, I think it was yesterday, from his owners. They let me know after he was older, probably maybe about 6 months ago, I started to get a call about aggression, and I kind of tried to help them with that. And anyway, the dog ended up coming back to me. Now, upon receiving the dog, I can tell you that there was a lot. This dog was basically just he was not in a home that was capable of giving him the discipline that he needed. And he's not even respectful on the leash. He'll try to pull you around. He's one of those dogs that wants to be at the end of the leash at all times, meaning that, come here, let's go. That if I walk him, he wants to pull. He always wants to be at the end of the leash. Now you can see that look where he just gave me, the ears are back. He's listening to me. He sat down. He's giving me a bit of a worried look. And that's appropriate, because I have very much been asserting myself. I have very much been teaching him that he is not going to do what he thinks he's going to do here. Pardon the poop. We haven't cleaned up yet today. I let everybody else out, but I needed to let him out before I cleaned up, because I've got a long day ahead of me. I'm about to head off to Delaware. So when he first got here, he tried to take me out. He's been aggressive with his owners, and he tried to boss up on me. Didn't work out very well for him. And right in front of his owners, I had to put him down, physically put him down. Now, that's not a fun thing for anybody to see. Anybody that's ever watched The Dog Whisperer or Dog Daddy, you'll have an idea of what I had to do. But this is a big dog. He's literally my size. I'm 5'4", and there are very few ways that human beings have of taking control of an adult dog that means you harm. And so, I'm not going to get into that right now, but because people are typically pretty sensitive. But the reality of the situation is nobody wants to discipline a dog like that. But it is either you euthanize the dog or you take control of the situation. And so that's what I had to do. Not something I have to do with my dogs, because my dogs are trained. But he's good. He's fine. Like I said, I've been working with him. He's more respectful now, although it did take some persuasion to get out of his kennel this morning. He's very much a loose cannon. He very much does what he wants to do. Now, having said that, ever since I've started working with him, he is not as tough as he thinks he is. He backs down, I would say, pretty quickly. But Batista's a much tougher dog than this. Not to criticize this dog, but just speaking as far as difficulty is concerned, I don't believe that this dog is a lost cause. I don't think that he's not going to be able to be worked with. But he's spoiled rotten, and there's going to be some work that's involved in dealing with this. But this is very much a PSA for anyone who thinks that Corso are just these fantastic, cuddly dogs, these family dogs. They're absolutely not. This dog bit his owners, and because he did not have an authority figure in the home. In fact, it was very difficult for the owners to even, I had to literally have them tie him to a tree because it wasn't safe for them to hand me the dog. And even then, they were having a hard time even tying the dog off. For me, it was a stressful situation, because I was scared that because they were having a hard time tying the dog off, that and maintaining the dog, that he was going to rush me. And there's only so much I can do with a loose dog trying to come at me. So it was a very stressful situation for me, but and I'm sure for the dog. But we got control of it, and it's good. Anyway, so I'm out here with him. I was able to take control in that situation. I was able to get him, after I put him down, I was able to get him up and make him sit and make him do some obedience. The owners were very happy to see that. They were very proud of his, proud of what we were able to do there. This is his mother. I do have his mother out here for him just to try to help keep him a little bit calm. Maybe give him something familiar so that it's not quite as stressful. But he doesn't really seem to be using that part of his brain yet. He's very much on alert. And so that's just what it is. So come on, let's go. I'm going to show you some work I'm doing with him so you can see the ears back. There's some fear there, but that's fine. He's being respectful. I like the ears down. I like the eye contact. I want a dog to, widen that out. I want a dog to look at me when I'm working with them. Sit. Good. That's what I want. Good boy. Good boy. He's a huge dog, you guys. His head literally comes up to my boobs. All right. And I'm not going to lie, there's sometimes when it's a little like intimidating, but you can't let that get to you. You know, with these dogs, you can't let them know you're afraid. So it doesn't really matter. Come here. Sit. Good boy. Good boy. See that tail? Good boy. Good boy. Let's go. So as equal as I'm hard, I'm also supportive and loving. I'm very black and white. If you do something wrong, discipline. If you do something right, love. I have to be so that I can teach him how I need him to be. There needs to be no gray area. Sit. Good boy. Let's go. I know I'm out here in sand. These are Savannah sandals. Sit. Good boy. Down. Down. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Up. Let's go. Good. There we go. There's that heel that I want to see. See how he's not pulling? Good boy. Let's go. This way. Looking up at me. Looking up at me. Sit. Good boy. Good boy. Now, this is also the dog that the owners were feeding Victor High Performance, I think it is, or something like that. It's a extremely high protein, extremely high fat, extremely high calcium. The dog was in so much pain. He was very overweight. He was in so much pain that he literally could not get up off the floor. He was crying, and they sent me x-rays from the emergency vet claiming that the dog was dysplastic. The x-rays were inconclusive because the positioning was so absolutely horrendous. And I'm really tired of veterinarians who think that you can judge hips when the hips are all over the place. There is a reason that there is a position called the extended view. There is a protocol for how it's supposed to look, and veterinarians, for some reason, seem to think that those rules do not apply to them and that they can grade hips with absolutely horrendous positioning. And it's absurd. Regardless, the dog is fine now. They got him on the correct diet. They got his weight down, although he was still a little soft whenever he came up here, but we'll get that fixed. But I'll show you up. I'm gonna let him kind of get. Oh, there we go. Good boy. So good boy. Look at him come right up to me. Good boy. Good boy. Yes. Good boy. Want to stay with me. Good boy. Come on. Good dog. See, and that's what I mean. He's a good dog. See, there's no limping there. Dog is completely fine. And so a very important thing of how nutrition can have a real serious effect on a dog. Now, because he did so well, come here. Good boy. Sit. Good boy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to allow him, I'm going to drop the leash. Good boy. And I'm going to allow him, you go potty. I'm going to release him to go to the bathroom. I'm going to let the leash drag because I don't trust him not to have it on. Good boy, yes. Good boy, yes. That's a good boy, yeah. That's a good boy. And another sign that, you can really get onto a dog. I mean, he had a very traumatic moment when I first got him, with me having to put him down like that. But it's like, look, you can't. He's very much a dog that challenges everybody. I mean, he drew blood to their son. I mean, he was growling at children. He was an absolute menace. All because his owners were just really being too soft. And one of the things that they mentioned was they were like, well, I thought that, you could just love the dog and he would just love you back and that would be enough. And I was like, absolutely not. No, not at all. You can love your kids, from sun up to sundown, and it's not going to make them respect you. It's not going to make them listen, not going to make them clean their room. So the dogs are no different. And these dogs are by far some of the worst. They're a very dominant breed of dog. And when things go wrong with them, they go really wrong. It's just the way it is. So, he's with me now. He will be trained. He will be taught to respect people again. He will not ever be allowed to bite anybody. And then I will start looking for potential homes for him. And depending upon how far along we get in his training and what I'm able to do with him will depend upon what kind of home I allow him to go into. But I don't think that he is in any way a lost cause. I think that he is very much a spoiled child who got used to intimidating the people around him and being a bully. And so, I'm the perfect person for that. Nobody bullies me. And everybody's got to be respectful around here. And that's just the way it is. And so he's going to learn that. And I like that. I like how he's kind of staying around me. You can see that he's... the reason he's staying around me is because he wants to be a good boy. Yeah, you're a good boy. Yes, you are. Look at that tail. Good boy. Yes, good boy. Good boy. Yeah, you just want to be a good boy. Shh, don't you jump on me. Shh. Shh. You will respect my space. You will respect my space. Go. And so, anyway, that's what we're going to be doing. And I would like to kind of include you guys on that process, and kind of how I address it, how I deal with it. You are a very dirty girl, Asia. You're a very dirty girl. See if he remembers her with the tail. Oh, there she goes. Oh, look at that. See that? See, and that's it. I love that she showed that, because what she's showing right there is I'm a dominant dog and you will respect my space. Okay. And that's what she's doing. She's literally setting a limitation. And now look at him. See that tail go up? You are really getting dirt all over me. And I would really appreciate it if you would stop. Shh, go. Quit it. I'm literally supposed to leave and you're making my pants all dirty and you're going to make people think that I'm just a dirty person. Shh, go. But what I find interesting is that the minute that he gets told off, then he goes and he starts peeing on things, and which is his way of kind of taking his power back. And he's like, oh, well, I can't do this. Well, let me go ahead. I'm going to go pee over here and I'm going to go do this, which is fine. It's whatever. But as long as he don't do it to me. But the most important thing to not miss in that situation is that in the same way that when he started to kind of get up close to me and I've kind of pushed him back and stopped giving him attention, I have to respect my personal space. And dogs need to, and they learn how to respect each other by a lot of body language and stuff like that. And so one of the ways in which dogs will kind of express their authority is by having a set area that is their space where they are at that you cannot be in. So maybe they have a bed that's theirs, and so that's theirs, and they're not going to let you in it. They're not going to let you all up on top of them, all up in their face or whatever. All that space, their space has, as we used to say when we were kids, back up, give me 50 feet. You know what I'm saying? Like, get up off me, right? All of that is a way of expressing that, I need you to be respectful of my space. There you go. So you can see here he put his butt beside me, which is fine. And I'm going to give him a little bit of love for being a good boy. You're a good boy. He's a good dog. You're a good dog. You're a good boy. You're not so bad. And so anyway, now I'm not going to let him in the house, even though it will probably help him bond with me faster. I also don't want him, to try to take over and be disrespectful to me. So it's very important that I maintain kind of almost a level of professionalism with him, some distance, so that I can work with him, appropriately. So, but I do find it interesting that as soon as that diet was changed, even though he's not quite as big as he was. He hasn't eaten yet since we got him. He's been stressed out. So he's the kind of dog that when we come into the kennel, he is just a barking, letting us know that that he don't want us in there. And so, good boy. So the reason I made that sound before I grabbed the leash is I want him to know that I'm doing something. I don't want to just reach down and scare him and have him kind of pop up and think he needs to defend himself. But overall, he's a really good dog. I did have to kind of boss up on him a little bit because his leash would come off, and he didn't want to put it on this morning, and he was very much trying to give me the business. So, but he's fine now. So what I like about him is that he does tend to back down pretty quickly. That's very important. And he's, like I said, he's tried to boss up on me, and every time he's lost. And he's, and that's the thing about it, right, is that ultimately, when you have an adult dog like this, people will try to say that you can win them over through love and this and that. That's simply not true. Anyone who tells you that is a liar, and they're not showing you they're either not showing you everything they did with the dog, or they're not showing you how bad the dog is to them when they're not filming. But dog society is what it is. Their communication is what it is. No human being's going to change that. That's like literally millions of years of evolution. And I can promise you that no hippie's going to change that. What I will say is that once you've gotten that dominance part out, once you've asserted yourself and you've reclaimed that position, which is why he's following me around, which is why whenever he went out, he came back to me, which is why he's, look at those ears back. He's listening. Come here. He didn't pull me. Good boy. He's listening very well. And I promise you, he was complete opposite whenever he came over here. And all of that is because I asserted myself and because I dominated him. I literally took the position from him, and now he respects me for it. And there's no animosity. There's no ill will there. There's no fear. He understands it. That's his communication. That's his society. And I'm only working within the bounds of that society. So, and that's why I'm able to control as many dogs as I'm able to control, because I am the leader. And when you are the leader, they listen. And if you're not the leader, they're not going to listen. They may listen some of the time. They're not going to listen all of the time. That's a very common thing I hear from people. If you have a dog, let me be very clear. Come here. If you have a dog that listens sometimes, this is what I'll hear. Well, he listens sometimes. It's only during these certain times. It's only during this. If your dog is like that, then he just, come here. Don't do that. Come here. Then he just doesn't listen to you. See, what I don't want is I don't want him at the end of the leash pulling. Back over here. Zeb, let's go. Good boy. Come here. Shh, all the way. Let's go. Bring it up. Zebulon, come here. Sit down. Right here. Sit. Good boy. So anyway, if your dog isn't listening all the time, if he's only listening some of the time, or if you're the kind of person that says, well, he listens when we're here, but he doesn't listen here, and they think it has to do with where they're at, that's not the correct way to think about it. The correct way to think about it is that the dog listens to you when he wants to. That's what you're telling me. The dog listens to you when he wants to, and he doesn't listen to you when he doesn't want to. Your dog should listen to you no matter what's going on, no matter if something's irritating him, yapping, whatever, your dog should listen to you. If he doesn't listen to you, then there's a reason for it and you need to address it. But there is no such thing as he listens sometimes and he doesn't listen other times, and then that dog still respects you. It's not the truth. If he respected you, he would listen every time you asked him to do something. He might delay, or as we call it, buffer. He might sit there and buffer for a minute. But, like Preacher, if I tell Preacher to sit, he's a little on the spoiled side. He may look at me like, really? And then when he does sit, he might take his time to sit down. But that's a little bit different than just completely ignoring you. So anyway, I gotta go. I've got my flooring guy is about to be here, and he's gonna be working all day, but and I'll have Reese over here watching my dogs for me, so that, because he's like really scared of my dogs. But it's not his fault. He got bit by another customer's Doberman, and now he just doesn't take any chances, so I get it. But anyway, I hope you guys are having a good day. I hope you will you'll join us on this journey. And with Zebulon here. Zebulon! Are you a good boy? Are you a good boy? You are. You're a good man. Yes, you are. So anyway, I'll talk to y'all later, and we'll get this guy rehabilitated. As you guys know, I always take back my dogs. So we're going to get this guy rehabilitated. We're going to get him back out there into society as a good, loyal, honorable, trustworthy dog. So talk to y'all later. Bye.